Biologists who study animal behavior have a term for the moment a decision has already been made before any visible action confirms it. They call it the commitment signal. It is the almost imperceptible shift in posture, attention, and behavior that occurs the moment an animal has internally committed to a course of action, before that commitment has been externalized in any obvious way. A patient observer can learn to read these signals. An impatient one will always miss them. Human beings, for all our complexity, are not as different as we like to think. When a woman has internally chosen a man, something shifts. Long before she says anything, long before any formal declaration, long before she herself may have consciously articulated the decision. The signals are there, 6 of them, quiet, consistent, and once you learn to recognize them, unmistakable. Today, we are going to study all 6, not to turn you into someone who analyzes and second-guesses every interaction, but to give you something that most men spend their entire lives without: the ability to read what is actually being communicated versus what is being said. Let us begin the observation. Before we go into the 6 signs, one thing needs to be said clearly. What we are discussing today is not a checklist for pursuing someone who has not chosen you. It is not a guide for misreading signals and projecting meaning where none exists. These 6 signs are patterns, tendencies, things that research in behavioral psychology and human nonverbal communication consistently identifies as indicators of genuine interest and internal commitment. They are not guarantees, and the right response to recognizing them is not to suddenly perform differently, to become more calculating or more strategic. The right response is simply to be present, to be genuine, to show up as yourself and let the connection develop naturally. The signs are meaningful precisely because they happen when no one is performing, including her. With that said, here is the first observation. Sign 1 of 6. She remembers what you never expected her to remember. You mentioned in passing 3 conversations ago that your grandfather used to make a specific kind of tea. You barely remembered saying it yourself. It was a throwaway line in a longer story. And then one afternoon, she brings you that exact tea without saying anything about it. Just places it down with a small smile that suggests she knows she has given you something specific. That is not a coincidence. That is not an accident. The human brain is extraordinarily selective about what it chooses to encode in long-term memory. We do not remember everything. We remember what matters to us, what we are paying attention to, what we are invested in. When a woman remembers the small, specific, incidental details of your life, the name of your childhood dog, the story you told about your first job, the offhand comment you made about a place you have always wanted to visit, she is not simply displaying a good memory. She is displaying investment. Her mind is storing you, filing you, returning to you when you are not around. The details that other people would let pass through and forget, she is holding on to them. Because on some level, even if she has not fully said it to herself yet, you matter enough to keep. Most men either do not notice this at all, or notice it and immediately say something that draws attention to it in a way that makes it awkward. Neither serves you. Simply notice and let it tell you what it is telling you. Sign 2 of 6. Her body is already having a conversation. Her mouth has not started yet. Nonverbal communication researchers have documented something consistent across hundreds of studies. The body tells the truth before the mouth does. In any social situation, a dinner table, a group of friends, a casual gathering, the direction a person's torso faces is one of the most reliable indicators of where their genuine attention and interest lies. Not where their eyes are pointed, not who they are speaking to at a given moment, where their body is pointed. If she is in a group conversation and her shoulders, her feet, her chest, the core of her body, are consistently angled toward you even when she is technically speaking to someone else, that is not accidental positioning. That is the unconscious body creating proximity and orientation to something it has already decided it wants to be near. Watch for it in rooms where she has no reason to perform anything, in moments when she thinks no one is paying attention to how she is standing, in the way she naturally drifts toward your side of the table rather than the other, in the way her feet point in your direction even when she is looking elsewhere. The body always tells the truth. It simply does not use words. You do not need to become hyper-vigilant about this. You do not need to analyze every angle and positioning in every room. Simply know that this pattern exists. And when you notice it, let it inform your understanding of where things actually are. Sign 3 of 6. She finds reasons to keep the connection alive that have nothing to do with necessity. There is an important difference between replying to someone and reaching out to them. Replying is maintenance. Reaching out is investment. When a woman has internally chosen you, something interesting begins to happen. She starts to find reasons to make contact that are, on the surface, mundane or incidental. She sends you an article she thought you would like. She tags you in something that reminded her of a conversation you had. She texts to ask your opinion about something she could just as easily have Googled. The content of the message is almost irrelevant. What matters is the fact of the message, the reaching. Because reaching out to someone costs something. It costs the vulnerability of not knowing if they will respond warmly. It costs the exposure of revealing that you were thinking about them. Most people do not pay that cost unless the investment feels worth it. When she pays it repeatedly, when she finds reason after reason to maintain the thread between you, she is not doing it because she ran out of other people to text. She is doing it because the thread matters to her, because letting it go quiet for too long feels like a loss. Sign 4 of 6. She stops performing and starts simply being. Around you, every human being maintains a version of themselves for public consumption, a curated, edited, socially acceptable presentation that manages impressions and minimizes vulnerability. It is not dishonesty. It is self-protection, and it is completely normal. But there is a specific kind of trust, rare and significant, in which a person begins to let the curation slip, where they stop managing the presentation quite so carefully, where the unfiltered version starts to show up. You will know when this happens. She will laugh at something without checking whether the laugh is attractive. She will share an opinion she would normally hedge. She will tell you about something embarrassing from her past without immediately making a joke to diffuse it. She will sit in silence with you without feeling the need to fill it. These are not small things. They are enormous things. Because showing someone your unfiltered self is one of the most vulnerable acts a human being can perform. It requires believing that the person in front of you can hold what they see without using it against you, without losing interest, without changing how they look at you. When she shows you that self, the laugh she has not edited, the opinion she has not softened, the silence she has not filled, she is telling you something profound. She trusts you with who she actually is. And that trust, in the field of human connection, is one of the clearest signs of genuine choice. When she stops performing for you, she has already decided she wants to keep you. Sign 5 of 6. She starts building bridges between your world and hers. There is a particular kind of social architecture that people build only for those they intend to keep. She mentions you to her friends before you have met them. She references something you said to her family at dinner. She suggests places she wants to show you, not because she wants a tour guide, but because she wants those places to have you in them. She starts including you in the mental picture of her future, not dramatically, not in formal declarations, but in small, practical, quiet ways. Next month, there is a thing. You should come. You would love this person. I thought of you when I saw this. Each of these small inclusions is a brick, and she is, without making a production of it, building something. Pay attention to whether she keeps you separate from her life or begins to fold you into it. The woman who keeps a man compartmentalized, who sees him in isolation on specific terms in contained interactions, has not yet decided. The woman who begins to blur those borders, who lets you into the texture of her daily world, who mentions you in contexts where you are not present, has. Sign 6 of 6. She starts looking out for you in ways that were nobody's job but her own. This is the most quietly powerful sign of all, and the one most likely to be missed entirely. Watch for the moments when she does something for your well-being that she had no obligation to do. When she notices you seem tired before you have said anything. When she steers a conversation away from something she knows would irritate you. When she remembers something you mentioned you were stressed about and asks about it days later, not as a performance of care, but as a natural extension of the attention she has already been paying. This is care without audience, without announcement, without the need for credit. And care without audience is the most honest form of care that exists, because it is not performed for any external reason. It is not trying to impress anyone. It is simply a person looking out for someone who has become, in some quiet and private way, important to them. When a woman begins to naturally protect your peace, to soften the edges of the world around you without making a point of doing so, she has already crossed a threshold. She is not doing it because she was asked. She is not doing it to make an impression. She is doing it because something in her has already decided that your well-being matters to her. And that decision, quiet, unannounced, entirely her own, is perhaps the most significant one she can make. She protects what she has already decided to keep. So you have noticed these signs, one of them, several of them, perhaps all 6. What does the patient observer do with this knowledge? The temptation, and it is a strong one, is to immediately act on it, to push forward, to press the advantage, to accelerate things now that you believe the ground is solid. Resist that temptation. The biologist who has spotted the commitment signal in an animal does not suddenly rush into the field and startle the subject. He continues doing exactly what he was doing before, observing, being present, moving naturally. He knows that the process once begun will unfold in its own time as long as he does not disrupt it. The same is true here. These 6 signs are telling you that the work, the real work, The internal work has already been done. On her side, and more importantly, on yours. The man who has built himself, who shows up consistently, who does not chase or perform or contort himself for approval, is the man these signs naturally appear around. So the answer to what you do next is the same answer it always is. Continue being that man. Let what is already in motion arrive. 6 silent signs. None of them dramatic. None of them requiring interpretation or over-analysis. She remembers the small things. Her body orients towards you without thinking. She creates reasons to maintain contact. She shows you her unfiltered self. She introduces you into her world, and she protects your peace. Together, these 6 observations paint a portrait of a woman who has already made a quiet, private, internal decision. Not announced, not declared, simply lived in the small and consistent choices she makes when nobody is watching. The patient observer sees all of it. The man in too much of a hurry sees none of it. If this way of looking at the world resonates with you, subscribe to Mind Tactics Lab. Every week, we go deeper into the behavioral patterns, the psychology, and the quiet, observable truths that shape every human connection you will ever have. And tell me in the comments, which of the 6 signs have you noticed? Or which one have you given to someone without realizing it at the time? I want to hear the real story.